Hello there, good morning and welcome. It's another exciting day on Quest Television and Radio. We'll be looking at the dailies, looking at what's gracing the nation this morning, the stories that are trending in the world of news, sport and entertainment. My name is Sarah Omowigo, and of course I'm not alone. I'm here with my colleague, Mr. Alex Ogbonaya. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Sarah.
All right, I like the warm smile. Well, today is the 21st day in the month of September 2023, and from our studios, it's 43 minutes to the top hour of 8 a.m. And with that being said, let's take a look at the dailies and see what it has for us. All right, so the big story, our first paper rather for review this morning. Mr. Alex, why don't you start? Yeah.
Okay, let's kick off with the Nation newspaper. Okay, thanks, Sarah. Let's kick off with the Nation newspaper. The lead story on the front page of the Nation is about the strike. Planned strike, NLC keeps federal government in suspense. That's the lead story, and it comes with riders. SGF ministers meet with VP Shetima. Labour state chapters waiting for go-ahead. And above that story, political cases consuming court's time, says CJN Ariwola. You can read up that story on page 5. And directly below the masthead, Oluremi, my wife, friend, partner, says Tinubu. President celebrates First Lady at 63. Okay, we say congratulations to her from here too. Tribunal voids 165,000 NNPP votes, sacks Kano governor. Yusuf, judgment is human error. Party heads for appeal court. It's God's wish, says Ganduje. Curfew imposed on state. A lot is happening in Kano State as we speak. And finally, from the, not finally now, because there's some stories, let's see. Let's see, directly above the masthead, Ondo House steps up moves to remove deputy governor.
Yes.
The crisis there have taken a completely different turn. And finally, this time, Nigeria's solid minerals deposit worth $700 billion, says Alake Ogun. Plans trial for suspended Shagamu halters. Those stories are on pages 6 and page, what is it again? Pages 6 and 50 of the Nation newspaper. Over to you now, Sarah.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Alex. The next paper for review is Daily Trust. I see a lot of stories on the Daily Trust, a lot of headlines. Well, the big one that says Kano Tribunal, SARS Governor Yusuf declares Gawuna winner. Okay, count on the big story says government imposes 24-hour curfew, business owners close shops. NNPP to appeal, APC applauds verdict. Well, above the masthead says U.S. court orders varsity to release Tinubu's academic records. You can read more on that on page 10 of the Daily Trust. But what you will find on page 12 of the Daily, 19 rather, says 5.2 trillion naira remitted to Federation accounts in 6 months. This is coming from RMAFC. Ondo Assembly moves to impeach Deputy Governor, alleges misconduct. You can read more on that on page 18 of the Daily Trust. Now let's come below the big story here. Says subsidy back as federal government pays 169.4 billion naira in August. Naira crashes to 970 naira at black market. You can read more on that on page 19 and on page 7 of Daily Trust. IGP orders clamp down on killers of security operatives in Imo State. And the last from Daily Trust says ground rent. Allottees besiege AGIS. FCTA rakes in over 1.9 billion naira in days. You can read more on that on page 22 of the Daily Trust. But that's the much that I can take. Over to you, Mr. Alex.
Okay, the next paper up for review is the Guardian newspaper. They begin with a business-related story on its front page. Critical National Infrastructure Bill, non-passage of bill 15 years after, threatens $77 billion telecom industry. The full gist can be found on page 6, I beg your pardon, of the Guardian newspaper. The curfew in Kano State is also giving a mention here. It's titled Curfew in Kano, Jubilation in Abuja as Tribunal Sacks Governor. That too can be found on page 6. Ondo Assembly begins impeachment proceedings against Deputy Governor. That's on page 7. NERC orders reimbursement of customers under MAP by Discos. That's on page 3. And on page 29, I beg your pardon, comes this one. Federal government plans low-key independence anniversary. That's on October 1. Coups, why military incursion is not solution to leadership deficit. That's on page, let's see now, page 4 of The Guardian. And below that one, Economist warn on spiraling inflation hike in prices of petroleum products. I'll take that again. Economist warn on spiraling inflation hike in prices of petroleum products. You can read up that story on page 3 of The Guardian newspaper. And that's that from The Guardian newspaper.
All right, so the last paper up for review is the Punch newspaper. And the big story reads, Tinubu's academic record. APC tackles article as U.S. court grants ex-VP's request. You can read more on that on page 2. Our kick underneath the big story reads, PDP, article's aide commend U.S. court, say Tinubu's academic record will be unveiled soon. No cause for alarm, article's case an exercise in futility. President has nothing to hide, coming from APC. Well, above the big story, police declare 24-hour curfew as tribunal sacks Kano governor. Shops shut, NNPP supporters protest, governor heads for appeal. You can read more on that on page 11. And on page 7 of the Punch paper, what you will see there says misconduct. Ondo Assembly begins process to impeach Deputy Governor. Well, down below, the big story here says Lagos road collapses after downpour, residents groan. Well, that is the picture of the day on the Punch paper. It is looking like earthquake. Like it's so disheartening at the middle of the road. Lagos road collapses after downpour, residents groan. You can read more on that on page 5 of the Punch paper. Naira tumbles to 980 Naira per dollar. FX shortage worsens. You can read more on that on page 21. But what you will find on page 4 and 5 is Mohbad's wife seeks Falana's intervention. Ekiti Assembly demands justice. And lastly, from the Punch paper, strike. NLC ultimatum ends today. Federal government allays fears. You can read more on that on page 20 of the Punch paper. But because of time, that is much that we can take this morning. Right about now, we'll be opening up the phone line so you can call in to give your comments, observations, and your peace of mind. Well, the numbers for you to reach us are on your screen. But for those of you listening to us by radio, it is 081 88 888 931 or 080 22 931 931. Remember to give us your name and your location, and you got 45 seconds so another caller can come on board. Hello? Hello? All right, while we are with the course.
Exactly, while we're with the course, I'm not surprised at what's happening in Ondo State. Ondo Assembly begins process to impeach Deputy Governor. When I saw the story yesterday, I just laughed because I saw it coming. I knew it was coming. While the governor, Akeredolu, was away on medical vacation, the deputy governor, stepped in as acting governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa. And, being the Nigerian that we are, this man, because Akeredolu's tenure will end next month, sorry, next year.
Next year.
And so as deputy, he probably has the chance, if he wants to, qualify
to contest,
run,
exactly.
Yeah. And so he started making plans behind his principal's back, probably even wishing him dead. From what we now know, his aides were just busy campaigning, subtle campaign.
Giving us the flag. We have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Hello.
We seem to have lost that call.
Okay, well, while we are with the call, continue, you were saying something.
So his aides were busy doing some subtle campaign, running down Akeredolu. Okay, the caller is ready now. Hi, good morning to you. Oh, no.
Hello? Hello?
We may have to end that call, please.
Yes, remember to turn down the volume of your radio set or walk as far away from your radio if you do want to call in to give your comment, because we can have free clear. Okay, yeah, we have a caller there. Good morning.
Yeah, yes. From West Virginia.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah. Plan strike. LSE keeps government in suspense. Yeah, the truth that all this while, they know the reason why this strike wants to be held. So they should put their head together. Let's see how they can resolve the issue the LSE trying to raise. Actually, we don't need strike, but the palliatives they are giving to us is not really enough. We should look to that side. Then again, Tribunal sacked Kano government due to an invalid vote declared. APC candidate declared the winner. NSPC had to appeal court, curfew imposed in Kano. Now, yes. No, we are having at least we are seeing some things are happening at this time around. But why is that the one of Atiku and Obi no invalid votes were noticed, but the one of Kano was noticed. So at least I don't know. It's true that we vote, but the court are giving us the leaders. Then finally, Tory is back. And the federal government will pay some money for subsidies. The federal government should study subsidies regime well, so that all this thing will be fully done. How do you sir?
All right, thank you, Mr. Henry. I almost noted that 165,000 votes noted as invalid. My question is, so did INEC not see them? Because according to the court, they were not stamped, neither were they. INEC, you know, it was invalid right from the beginning, but yet INEC counted it and attributed it to Yusuf as part of his vote. So until the tribunal now, is that not INEC's job in the first place?
Sarah, trust me, if I want to comment on this, I'm going to say things I shouldn't be saying here. So let's
let it lie. But according to what Mr. Henry said, he said it's only in Kano they saw invalid vote. But yes, we're still taking your call. 081-8888-931. Good morning. We can hear you.
Good morning.
Morning to you too.
This is Chief Duku.
Welcome.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Where are you calling from?
Okay, this is Chief Duku. I'm calling from Ekregebu.
All right, please go ahead.
U.S. court ordered the release of Tinubu's Chicago result. Yes, we are in a country where things that ought not to take, a minute to do, is being done as if it is something that you are bringing from heaven. Why all these things? You went to school. You worked with the certificates, according to you, in an oil company, well-known company, and you have been a governor. Now, present your results. You are going to U.S. to fight that it should not be released. What are you hiding? Well, thank God for the U.S. court. Let this thing come and let people see what they are hiding. So, and we are talking about education here today. Look at what we are talking about. He's a whole leader of the most populous black nation in Nigeria, in the world, can be hiding a certificate. Then what is the hope of that nation when it comes to education? It's a pity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. APC stands on the ground that there is no cause for alarm, that the president has nothing to hide. But just like the caller said, you know, if you go to school and you say, where's your result? It should be part of it. Prestige that, okay, I went to school, here is my result. You understand? But
even if you didn't do well, that's secondary.
That's secondary, but you have the result. The school recognized you as a student and you graduated. Well, luckily for us, the U.S. court has ruled that the result should be released. So with time, we'll get to see that. Like we have a caller on the line. Hello? All right, while we await more calls, I think another story that caught my attention is that of the Nigerian artist Mohbad, who died, I think, sometime last week.
True.
Exactly. Now, I read one of the stories there from The Punch saying that Mohbad's wife seeks Falana's intervention. Ekiti Assembly demands justice.
Well, something tells me we may never really know what killed that guy.
So many stories, so many controversies coming here and there. But I think one thing that was relevant, or rather that was very, very open, was the fact that he was being bullied. Oh, we have a call.
Yes. Hi, good morning.
Morning, yeah.
What's the name and your location?
I want to say about this subsidy. What's happening again? What is happening again in Nigeria? They told us on inauguration that subsidy is gone.
Has been gone, as we remember.
Now we are spending billions of dollars for the same subsidy again, billions of naira for the same subsidy again. What a scam.
What a delusion. Oh, it is well, Nigeria. Oh, what is possible? It is well.
Okay. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Christopher. That's from the Daily Trust. A subsidy back as federal government pays 169.4 billion naira in August.
Wow.
I remember the word subsidy is gone. 169.4 billion naira. But yes, we still look at Masidi.
Hello, good morning.
But because of time, I feel like we need to draw the curtain. Maybe take one more call before we say goodbye. Okay, that was a call on the line. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Mr. Comrade Christopher Okoro from Motorway.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, I want to comment on the heading that says the U.S. court have ordered the release of Tinubu's certificate. Please, I just want to be within the international space. The U.S. is behind all these things. The U.S. brought Buhari to come and destroy the economy of Nigeria. The U.S. was there since when this case was in tribunal stage. They were holding. Look at this. Tinubu went to the United Nations conference to make a statement that Africa should be treated equally, that the West are oppressing Nigeria, Africa. The following day, the U.S. now is telling that they should release this result. Until we join the African Union to see that we stand on our own, whether Nigeria brings seven policy or you say Nigeria this, you say Nigeria that, we still remain in the same position.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think
all right, thank you. Yes,
yeah.
We have run out of time. But yes, before saying goodbye, we have to thank our sponsors, Vanguard, for sponsoring this program brought to you by Quest every morning by 7:30 to 8 a.m. Whatever you do, make sure you make the best out of today. Bye for now.